101 on how to befriend people when you first meet them, how to win over people, and how to hold conversations. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on how to stop being cynical. So, I realised that I emphasised the importance of being a good friend and having good friends around you in your life, but I haven't told you yet how I personally make friends and how we attract the type of people that we want to be friends with and how you get what you are. You need to be your own best friend first. Be the type of person that you would want to be a friend with. Because why? Why would someone want to be your friend? Why? Why would they want to be your friend if you wouldn't want to be your own friend? And you have to learn about yourself. You have to learn about what you like, what you care about, what you enjoy. That's a big thing, what you enjoy, because that trickles into what you can do in the friendship and points of interest and activities for you to do. And that ensures that you are doing things for yourself as well, not just for the other person. Because I think that's when a lot of people pleasing comes into play, when you don't really know what you want. So you're just letting the other person do what they want. So you got to know yourself first. You got to do some self-work, and you got to take care of yourself the same way that you would want your best friend to. Because people want to be friends with people that are confident, that are engaged, that know themselves, that know how to speak to other people. And you get all of those things from treating yourself like another person. Because we forget to be kind to ourselves, and we forget that our brains listen and take in everything that we think. So you gotta be really kind and really intentional with the way that you think and the way that you treat yourself. And you got to do it as if you're besties with yourself. And eventually you will love yourself, and you'll end up speaking really gently to yourself, and you'll be like, wow, I wish other people would be this kind to me, you know? Because you've grown to love yourself so much, because you've created yourself into the person you want to be. Following on from that, to make good friends, you want to put yourself in rooms intentionally. You don't want to be finding yourself in situations. You want to curate situations for yourself. So say you wanted to be a DJ, okay? You need to go to every DJ spot in your town, and you need to put yourself in those situations, because even people seeing you there regularly will help them notice you and be like, oh, she's cool, like she actually comes here, she's not just here like on a one-off. And if you talk to someone in like a one-off scenario, they might be like, oh, like she's nice, like she's friendly. But if you keep seeing them in the same places over and over intentionally, then they actually see from your actions that you have an interest in the sphere that they're in as well. And that in itself creates an unspoken bond. So be really intentional with where you are, not just who you're with. And put yourself in places that you want to be in. You might be with someone and some people aren't very good at reading rooms, and that goes for your friends and people that you might be with. And you sometimes have to tell them, like, I don't want to go here, but we can compromise and we can go here, because this is more of like a middle ground for both of us. Or how about today we go here where you want to go, and tomorrow we'll go where I want to go. You see? Because if you really don't want to be somewhere, all of the things that I'm going to tell you are going to go completely out the window, because people have the biggest bullshit detector and they can sense that you really don't want to be there. On that note, when you walk into the room that you've intentionally chosen with the people that you hopefully want to be around, hoping to meet other people that you want to be around and that you want to find common ground with and that you want to enjoy life with, you have to walk into a room like you're the main character. Just copy how main characters walk into films. Okay, imagine you're like Sharpay Evans. What does she do? What does every main character do? Every three things. They smile when they walk into a room. And it doesn't have to be like a cheesy, grinny smile. Just smile. Because people don't realize how far a smile can go. So smile. And have open body language. Keep your shoulders back. Walk tall. Don't walk arrogantly, and don't be arrogant. And this is not a fake it till you make it thing. This is genuinely just like how you should carry yourself anyway. And this comes after getting to know yourself and having assurance in who you are and knowing that you're competent because you've done all the research to get there and that you are the person that you want to be. I can do another episode on how to do those things and how to get into a place where you truly feel secure in yourself, because if you're not secure in yourself, I don't think that you can be really secure in your relationships either, and that goes for friendships as well. But as well as having open body language, and that just means that, say you're at a bar and you're ordering a drink, don't be stood there like that and like on your phone. Don't be on your phone, and don't look down, and don't like be looking around. Just be still. Just have confidence in you being there because you walked there intentionally. You know what you want from being there, hopefully. And that could be anything from, I want to meet someone who can make me laugh tonight, or I want to bond with this group of people tonight because I haven't yet, and this is quite a popular group in my city. I imagine that we can have a lot of fun together. So have an open mind as well. And by that I mean be genuinely grateful that you have 2 legs that are healthy enough to have gotten you into this room. You have a mind that's competent enough to function and have conversations with strangers. That you live in this place and that you can afford to go here, and that you're wearing the clothes that you're wearing, and that you are able to be here. Because a lot of people don't have that chance. So you got to have an open mind, and that comes from really wanting to be there and really wanting to meet other people. Okay? And along with that, through your conversations, ask open-ended questions. This is the most important thing when talking to new people. The structure of your conversations is going to be quite different to the structure of your conversation with a close friend, because close friends can go from going blah 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 to just having moments of silence, and that's okay because it's not awkward because you know each other and you know that you just kind of need a minute, or you're on your phone, or you're answering your mum's text, something like that, which is so common in situations of your close friends, especially when you're together 24/7. Completely fine. When you're with the new people, to negate moments of silence, which I know a lot of people are you should be comfortable with silence. Moments of silence with strangers can be a chance for the other person or for you to be right, okay, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go speak to my friend over there. And that's okay if the conversation has come to an end, but we don't want that to happen in the middle of the conversation. We don't want that to happen after someone's hey, I'm Aman, what's your name? And they're oh, I'm James. And you're okay, hey James, how are you? And then he's I'm good, how are you? And then you're good. Moment of silence. What the hell? Then they'll be right, okay. We want to actually talk to people, not just introduce ourselves to people. There's a difference. So ask who, when, why, where questions, and do it with genuine curiosity and interest. When you go into a conversation, you want to be thinking, and this goes for new people and people you want to befriend, that they are the star of the show. Okay, you might be the star of the show, but you want to treat the other person like they are, and not in a pretend way, because humans can tell when you're doing bullshit with them. You want to be genuinely invested in their stories, their days, their brains. This is a whole other person who's lived a completely different life from you, and they've experienced a number of different things in a number of different ways, and I have a number of different takes on it. Don't you want to learn? Don't you want to see how people how people live, how people think, especially if you're in a room that you want to be in. I'm sure that you want to be like those people in some regards. So take the chance, learn. I learn the most from my friends. I learn the most from the way that they think, the way that they carry themselves, the way that they talk to other people. Like, social competence is the biggest center of education in the world. So you gotta really want to be that and show it. Don't treat it like an interrogation, because there is a risk of it running like an interview if you're not focusing on yourself at some points. But hopefully, and this is a telltale sign that the other person is also a good person, when you ask a question, for example, oh, like, I really like this bar, like, have you been here before? Do you know any bars that are like this? Because the vibe's really nice. And they'll be like, yeah, I really like it too. I mean, I come here every Sunday, and I have a bar like down the street from me that's sort of similar, and we go there as well. You should come. If the conversation has that back and forth dynamic where it's like me, you, that's a good sign. That means that they are also willing to befriend you and willing to include you in their social circle. So brilliant sign. And that's how you get people to ask questions about you, because they're like, wow, she's like not really saying anything and she's so invested in me, like she's making me feel really good about myself, and I must look quite interesting, or I must be quite flattered, because wow, she's like really taking the time to get to know me. She must really care. So when you make people feel like that, they'll never forget that, and that in itself is going to make people want to be around you more and want to include you more, and also want to show you off to their friends. Like, look at this amazing person I met and she wants to be friends with me, you know? Because people will never forget how you make them feel. They forget what you say, but they don't forget how they feel around you. You might be thinking, well, how are they going to get to know me and know that they want to be friends with me? People know you from what you do, not just what you say. So you taking the time to get to know someone and converse with them says a lot more than you telling them that you went to the park yesterday for a run. But like I said, the back and the forth and the conversation will happen, because that's just how we are trained socially to also ask about the other person. It's a form of like kindness and respect. How to not let conversations stop, or how to not have like moments of like dullness in the conversation, is by asking important follow-up questions. So say the person I was talking to asked me about the run that I went on the park, and they were like, oh, so you run, like, do you like running? And instead of just being like, oh, do you like running, you could be like, so how long have you been running for? Or where do you run? Or how often do you run? Open-ended questions that can't be answered with yes or no, create space for people to talk about anything they want, as opposed to just being like yes, no. For people to want to be your friend, you have to be worth being a friend. So people love funny people. I think that is a trait that universally people can agree on, that is a trait people want to be around. Not all the time, like you don't want to be like a jack in the box, like cracking up people like every single minute. Every day is good, not every minute, because people want to see you as a human as a whole. And if you only exhibit one trait over and over, whether that be like you're a musician and all you talk about is playing guitar and that's it, or whether like you're a painter and all you do is talk about painting, or whether you're a funny person and all you do is make jokes, people want to see all the facets in you, and not in a pretentious way, but they do that by getting to know you. So you've got to let people get to know you too, and that comes from being honest. So say I meet someone and they're like, hey, how are you? Instead of me as a reflex going, hey, I'm good, how are you? Or like, hey, I'm good, it's nice to meet you. No one fucking cares about that. Like, no one actually cares. People want to know something interesting about you. So you could say, hey, like, you know what? I'm really excited to be here and it's nice to meet you. But I'm really exhausted from this hot sauna class that I just went to. I was really grateful to go. Like, it was cool. It was interesting, but took the wind out of me. What about you? Do you ever go to like sauna classes? Have you ever been? Something like that. Like, add some spice. Do you see how we're just expanding on the structure? We're not like cancelling out and adding something completely ridiculous. So yeah, okay. Don't know what that was. So be funny, like always answer the first question with a joke if you can. So say someone's like, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm peachy, how are you? They're gonna be like, what? You see, but it's funny, it will make them laugh. And it's not absurd. It's not an absurd thing to say to a stranger. It can be quite charming actually if you do it in the right way. And people don't mind a little bit of silliness. They really don't. And if they do, this is another thing actually, a lot of people are kind of awkward or kind of unreciprocal when it comes to humour. But especially strangers. But it's always worth a try because it puts them at ease and it shows them that you're not like too serious or you don't take yourself too seriously. You can be serious about like your work or your job or your family, but you don't have to take yourself seriously. Like let yourself like live, let yourself have some fun and do that with other people because other people are gonna want to be around that easiness. Like people going to like the bar after a long day of work, they don't want to have like long lengthy discussions all the time. Like sometimes they just want a minute to like connect with other people and not have an intellectually stimulating conversation all the time. That's what I've noticed like wins over a lot of the people that I meet for the first time is when yes, I do present myself as silly and as able to have a laugh, but they know because of the rooms that I'm in. Like I find myself in like societies a lot, as in like my university societies or university like clubs. So they know that I'm not dumb because I'm in university. But me allowing myself to be silly, it shows that I'm also able to be playful. And intelligence is mainly shown through humour a lot of the time. Like all funny people are intelligent. They just are. So you got to take the material from the world around you. Say like there's a crazy situation going on around you. You take that and you use that as your script and you make a joke out of it. Just like a comedian has their own scripts. But instead of their material being the world around them, it's probably something that they saw yesterday and took from. So it's the same thing, but just in different tenses, you see? Getting people to like you is not just what you do when you're in front of them, it's what you do throughout the whole time you're in the same room as them. So say I am the last one to leave the party or leave the bar, and I've been telling them that like I'm exhausted from my sauna class, and they see that I'm one of the last people to leave, they're not going to be thinking, wow, like she must have a lot to do, she's really important, she's on a grind, you know, she's here, she's there, she's that. They're going to be thinking, why is she like here when she said she's exhausted? Because it's kind of weird that she's at a bar this late after a long day and she has work tomorrow. That is actually something someone could think. Like someone who's maybe a bit judgmental or who does value time as a currency, they might be thinking like that. You have to present yourself as a valuable asset, and valuable assets don't stay in the same place for a long time. They move around, okay? They move around. You never want to be the last one to leave the party. You never want to forget basic politeness. Like, I do understand being fashionably late. I have a tendency to be late a lot of the time. I do. And there are certain situations where it's acceptable and certain ones where it's just rude. If you're meeting a friend one-on-one and you're late, it's just rude. It's just rude. But if you're entering like a party or a bar, it's kind of like, whatever. But there are also specific events where you need to be on time, say like birthdays, things. But if it's a like friend thing where they're like, oh, come whenever, it's all right. Like, you don't need to take yourself too seriously. But never forget basic politeness. Building upon being polite, you want to be kind and loving to the people that you're already friends with. So say you're at the bar. Come back with a drink for your friend. And don't ask her what she wants, just observe what she normally orders and come back with that drink for her. And don't expect anything out of it. 99% of the time she'll bring a drink for you, or she'll ask you if you want a drink next time. But don't ever expect and don't ever ask like, hey, can you get me a drink because I got you one? No one fucking wants that. Just be loving and share with your friends. Share your time, your energy. Your energy is your biggest currency and your time is your biggest currency. So people might value like you spending money on them, but as long as you're there with them and you value your own time, they're going to be really, really grateful because they know that you don't just walk around with anyone or see anyone or do anything. They know that they chose you and you chose them and you two love each other. When you get invited somewhere, go. And this goes for the people that you love. When they invite you somewhere, just go. You also, for sure, you don't want to be too available. I think that rule is mainly for people that you don't really want to spend that much time with. But the people that you love, you will always create memories and laughs with them when you're with them. So go, go, go. It might feel better to stay in and watch Gilmore Girls and eat dinner. And you can do that with your friends too. Like, just be like, hey, I don't really want to go out, but do you want to do this with me? Do you want to have dinner with me? It can sound like that, but never run away from a chance to connect with your friends. And you have to create them too. So say when you meet someone new, you want to include them. If you like them, include them. Be like, hey, like, we're doing this tomorrow. Do you want to come? They're probably going to be like, no, because they're a stranger. But if you really like them and you want to be friends with them, give them the opportunity to see that. So yeah, and by saying that, I don't mean make your whole life about your friends, but treat them as a home to come back to. So you go to work, and when you're at work, you're all in. And when you're with yourself, you're all in. You're doing a lot of self-care, you're doing your makeup, you're doing your skincare, you're taking your collagen, you're taking your creatine, you're taking your supplements, you're loving yourself, you're gifting yourself your time and your presence the same way that you would gift your friends. But when you're with your friends, you're all in. But most important thing is you're making friends because human beings need social connection, and it's one of our biggest sources of happiness. So you have to be really grateful and really invested and really happy to be there. And yeah, a lot of that comes from being in the right rooms with the right people. You never want to settle. And people say that for relationships, but it goes so much more for friendships, I think. Well, at least in my life, because I put a big emphasis on friendships as opposed to relationships. So you wanna really love your friends and really show them. That doesn't always have to manifest in like big displays of love, like buying gifts for them or something, but for sure, like you have to go all out for like your friends' birthdays, your friends' special days, your friends' big achievements. And that doesn't always have to work in terms of gift giving or spending lots of money. It can be shown through genuine like words of encouragement and admiration. People will never ever forget a head tilt and a smile. They'll never forget that. And it may sound a bit cringy, but like people just love to be loved, and they loved to be loved without repercussions or without obligation. And obligation and repercussion doesn't happen when the friendship is two-sided. It can happen when you find yourself in a friendship that you're more invested in, or that they're more invested in, the emotional baggage or the possible like physical damage done. But you have to do what's best for you and for the people that you care about. Once you really find your people, you have to go all in, okay? And you have to do it in a way that your most secure self would do it from. So never do it in like an anxious way, but do it in a I love you way. Okay, so that was the 101 on how to befriend people when you first meet them, how to win over people, and how to hold conversations. Thank you for listening.